We have developed this house as far as I think it can be developed, and we're left with problems which I think are unsolvable.
I mean, presumably it did work. What's changed?
2 years ago, Caroline and I became co-ministers of a church. Hospitality is a huge aspect of the role that we now currently have.
Okay.
It's very much gone from being a family home to a manse, and that's obviously brought additional pressures.
The problem that you may have, Phil, in terms of listed, is that Caroline is very emotionally attached to this home.
12 years ago, Caroline was diagnosed with breast cancer, and the house became a safe haven for the family.
When I was unwell, the neighbours and friends and family just looked after us.
When a house has got you through a bad period, it's quite hard to throw caution to the wind.
Converting an unused garage into a habitable room is an effective way to increase your living space. It requires levelling the floor, insulating the walls and adding ventilation, but it's still far less work than an extension.
And it's more cost-effective too, with the average small ground-level extension coming in at almost 3 times the price of a garage conversion. However, Chris and Caroline are already using every inch of theirs.
I'll be honest, I'm worried. I can't see where there's space to make any changes in this house. And they're going to lose garden if more happens.
I think you should convert your entire garage into a generous family kitchen diner.
I've never thought about that.
By knocking down the wall between the utility room and the garage and adding a new window and door on the front, my plan creates an impressive open-plan space for the family. The new larger room will easily accommodate the extra chairs and freezer, which used to be stored in the garage. The existing kitchen is then transformed into a home office, giving Chris his own dedicated workspace. The snug and conservatory will then become the social space that Caroline and Chris have been craving. Dedicated to hospitality, for church meetings, and for when their wider family come to visit. The problem of the tiny downstairs loo can be solved by creating a new one under the stairs.
The sun is out, the builders are in. I want to see what Chris and Caroline have done to the house.
Chris and Caroline have moved the recessed wall of their living room forward to create a straight wall in the kitchen next door.
Wow.
Moving the wall better utilises the available space and creates more evenly proportioned rooms.
It's such a small tweak, but it just feels like it flows so much better.
Making clever choices with sleek kitchen units will help retain the sense of openness, and Chris and Caroline plan to reuse their old cupboards to reduce costs.
I was standing here and thinking, you could think, why bother moving the wall? But it makes this room feel so much bigger.
We needed to maximise hospitality in here
Yeah.
and work meeting out there,
Yeah.
and make sure that the family space was separate.
Yeah.
And I think the plan that you brought to us originally, that really made us see that that sense of separation was really important to us, and it was really, really helpful that you came up with that idea. We've kind of flipped it.
You have,
but
yeah.
it's
I
been
think you
it
flipped
was
it
a great
in a brilliant
idea.
way.
When we first met Chris and Caroline, they were out of ideas on how to make this house work for them as a family and for their job as church ministers. The cramped kitchen couldn't host many visitors, and Chris's makeshift office in the conservatory had to be turned around for church meetings. But now, by knocking down the wall between the snug and the old kitchen, they've created a large, open-plan kitchen diner that is perfect for family gatherings and entertaining friends.
It's like coming into an entirely different house.
This isn't a big house, to be honest. So to have a room where you can have a table for 14.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's working so well, and we've had friends round, and it's really comfortable, lots of space. We really, really like it.
The conservatory has been freshened up and is no longer shuffling between being an office and entertaining space, giving the family a room they can relax in.
The conservatory just looks absolutely glorious.
So it's kind of given you 2 living rooms.
Yes, it has.
Which is what you wanted.
There are now 2 living rooms, a very large eating kitchen, and an office.
Can I see the office?
You can see the office.
Of course you can.
Previously, the cramped and crowded space next door consisted of a small utility room, a tiny toilet that Chris hated, and a garage that was being used for storage. Now, The old utility has been transformed into a light and airy meeting space that doubles as an office for Chris. The desk space is complete with shelves built into the recess. Patio doors allow plenty of natural light and open onto the garden. And the garage now houses a utility, a good-sized WC, and still has room for storage.
And just over 9 months on, and the new downstairs layout is having a dramatic effect on Chris and Caroline's work and family life.
The decision to love was absolutely the right decision. Yeah, it's made such a huge difference to our family life and our working life being here. We have managed to get 14 plus people round the table, which has just been so brilliant. We've had to buy extra crockery and cutlery and glasses because we had so many people round together, but then we've also had to find a place to put it.
And it's not just the larger kitchen diner that's been a big success.
The second front door has been a huge help for us. That is now our work access door, so people coming to meet either of us in connection with church-related matters go through that door. We are self-contained, so it has been fantastic.